Datila, and welcome to the TNAIW Go Power Rankings show. As always, I'm joined by my two co-hosts. First, to my right, he's 1/3 of the new tag team champions, the third Rascal, and who allegedly has no relation to the returning Steve Macklin. Give it up for the star of the show, the one and only Burt Macklin.
And he looked like he'd been celebrating too.
Yeah.
You know, I think me and the Rascals, we study high, we take the test high, and then we get high scores, and also that translates to winning tag gold. You know what I mean? So
smoke them if you got them.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
I've been hanging out with you guys way too much. Yeah. And to my left, he is the DNA of LL TRINITY, the godfather of the power rankings. He puts the Lucha and Luchasaurus, the Lucha and Lucha House Party, the brother in Lucha Brothers. Lucha.
You're...
All right, we had an incredible show. We had a fantastic weekend of wrestling, if you ask me. Really huge day of wrestling, but we're here to talk about Emergence. But before we get started, I just want to say, can I get a Joya?
I got you. I can, because you gotta have the right delivery on this one.
Okay, go ahead.
Can I get a Joya?
That's fantastic, Joya.
I hate it.
Oh god, that was really fun. I cannot wait to see more of Joya.
I hate it. I love it.
All right, so these power rankings should be really interesting because we're combining the Go Home Show and Emergence. Honestly, I think Burt said it best. Trinity should be number one. She got a victory on the Go Home Show. Not only did she main event, she made the Prazo tap for the second time. So I cannot argue with her not being number one. You know, she has to be number one.
And I'm going to make an argument right now. I think the Machine Guns should still be number two. Why? Yeah, their team lost. But was it their fault?
Alex Shelley abandoned Josh Alexander in the middle of the ring.
So who got pinned?
Josh Alexander.
Our defense rest.
There's no way they shouldn't be two. 3 is fine, but if the Rascals are number 2, I don't see how that's possible. But again, you're completely right. I didn't see any member of the Machine Guns get pinned. They did their job. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm saying 3.
And with that being said, let's play these power rankings. Number 10, the DMC Kenny Kea NG King. Number 9, IWGP Champion Sandaya. Number 8, Eric Young. Number 7, Joya. Number 6, Yana Perazo. Number 5, Tag Team Champions MK Ultra. Number 4, Bully Ray Myers Moose and Leo Rush. Number 3, New Tag Team Champions The Rascals. Number 2, Time Machine and Josh Alexander. Number 1, World Champion Trinity.
I don't like it.
Why?
Because it goes... the number 2 situation directly violates Section 420 of the Power Rankings contract. And I'm gonna read the part where we've made it abundantly clear. Time Machine, as a stable of the Motor City Machine Guns and Kushida, are not to be ranked together even when they link up, because they're not an official unit. They're just a little, sometimes cute little type thing. We made it up. We decided because Bully Ray, Myers, Moose, and Leo, they are a squad. At least Bully, Moose, and Myers. Leo, Leo might be with them. Fuck it, we don't know. So they get to be together because they're a squad all the time. Time Machine does not get to be together because they are not a squad all the time. And Josh Alexander is not a part of their team either. The walking time machines don't exist on a day-to-day basis. Therefore, they should not be ranked together. So I'm making my own conscious, controversial decision. I'm going against the grain, going against the committee, like I always do. Hashtag FTC.
Okay.
What does that mean? Y'all figure it out. Hashtag FTC.
Lucha laying down the blunt.
As far as I'm concerned, we'll talk about all this shit, and this will be official. But damn it, no. As far as I'm concerned, the only number 2 I see is the Motor City Machine Guns because they weren't involved in their team losing the match, unlike the walking weapon, or should I say the getting pinned weapon.
If Lucha had a microphone in hand, he would have dropped it.
That's fine. I'm not gonna be upset at your point. You made a good point. I think maybe just something happened in the rankings committee this weekend where when they're putting it all together, I don't think anyone should be to blame.
They should all have the contract, a copy of it.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I forgot to email the contracts out to everybody. I'm sorry.
I told you to fax it.
Not everybody has facts.
What kind of a country do we live in where no one has facts anymore?
Well, I don't have a fax machine.
So you don't care about the facts? That's what you're saying?
I do care. Don't hurt me. I'm just a host. I'm just a host. Run it by Scott Demore.
And I don't know why you'd be upset because technically Time Machine are the machine guns, and you want the machine guns to be as high on the rankings as possible. They are number 2, so
while yes, I ride for my machine guns because TNA.
It's okay to be a heel.
Did you hear those TNA and Lucha chants?
Yeah, I'm fucking over. Y'all say Burt's a star. He ain't out here getting chants and shit.
It's true.
They chant for Burt.
It's okay to be a heel. Your team maybe benefited from being in this time machine this week. So, you know.
Hey, if anything, my team, it was not a bonus for them. It's not a benefit because their team lost and it wasn't their fault.
Well, that's true. Well, that's probably the biggest point. You're right. I'm wrong. I will concede this lot. I will concede to you. You win.
That's why I've made the executive Lucha decision. That just like CM Punk has the real world's title, the real number 2 on this week's Power Rankings is simply the Motor City Machine.
Well, in case you guys can figure out, number 2, the Time Machine, and Josh Alexander, like Lucha ranted about the real number 2, Time Machine. And since we're on the subject, let's talk about 3. Burt, I'm going to let you kick this off because you're 1/3 of the new tag team champions, the RASCALZ. Smoke them if you got them.
Well, I'm not going to lie. I can never really be happy about anything. And while I'm happy the RASCALZ are number 3, it's well-deserved. I'm more upset about who's at number 10. So I'm going to save my energy for when I'm angry about that. But no, the RASCALZ should be number 3, and hopefully they have the championships for at least, the rest of the year. I think it's well deserved.
Well,
I don't think they're ready to put Trey Miguel on the world title scene yet. So I think it was either this or the DMC for now. But yeah, I'm glad.
You know how they do with tag teams. Once you win the tag titles, then you start to fail to exist within the power rankings. So maybe this was a kiss of death more than it was a congratulations.
Well, that's what all champs usually don't make the rankings every week unless they're the world champ. I don't think that's, and then 2, I don't think that there's any way that because look at all the teams that are in the tag division now. So there's plenty of matches. This isn't a couple of years ago when the Good Brothers never seemed to be on TV.
But the same can be said for the Knockouts tag titles too, unless it's like a pay-per-view and the Knockouts tag champs defend their titles. 9 times out of 10, they're not even on this bitch.
Yeah, it's usually the 2 world champs and then the X Division champ, but that's been not as consistent either. So, but yeah, the RASCALZ should be number 3, especially if you're saying Machine Guns are ahead of them, and then who we think will be number 1. Yeah, number 3 is the highest they could be. No pun intended.
Okay, sure. You know, I was actually really surprised. Don't be mad at me, Burt, okay? Don't spray paint my eyes. But I was really surprised that the RASCALZ were victorious because I was really expecting ABC to come out there and cost them the tag titles, especially because I felt like a feud between the RASCALZ and ABC really didn't need the tag titles. And, you know, and if Subculture would have kept the tag titles, that gave other teams an opportunity to challenge for those tag titles.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? I'm happy for the RASCALZ on winning, so I'm pretty sure their first feud is going to be with ABC.
I would for sure think that match would be one that we get like Bound for Glory.
Bound for Glory?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that.
They'll probably have Subculture run it. I mean, they'll probably have them run it back with Subculture on the European tour. Yeah, you know, at least one. So, and then but yeah, there's tons of teams. But yeah, I think they would hold out with them versus ABC for a little bit, keep it fresh.
And then also a question that I want to bring in when we talk about the tag champs being on the power rankings. Let's look at the rest of the tag division and how there's like 4 other tag teams. You know, see if they have any chance to get through, you know, all night draw. You know, the Good Hands, they had a strong presence in their in that title match there, as well as within the tag division period. Number 7, Joya, a new tag team. Like, the tag division is starting to get a little spicy out of nowhere. Most professional wrestling guys, I mean, they're holding it down as a part of number 4, but still, it's like the when Subculture took the titles over to the UK, when that happened, we just had a whole lot of tag teams forming up out of nowhere, like me and Jeff were talking about. So it's like now the pool of tag teams trying to get in that top 10, let alone get a shot at the belts, it's just gotten things just got a lot more.
And speaking of the tag team division, coming in at number 5, the still Knockouts tag team champions, MK Ultra. You know, I'm surprised it came at number 5 considering that they defeated 3 other teams to keep their tag titles. That's got to count for something. And not only that, they pinned Courtney Rush, and the Death Dolls are former Knockouts tag team champions here. So that's got to count for something. But Burt, what are your thoughts on MK Ultra coming in at number 5?
I think maybe normally it would count for something, but I don't know. I just think when a team becomes new champs, and especially when that team is over as the RASCALZ are, like, maybe you can make a case for them being ahead of Moose and Myers' team. But if you then you're kind of like trying to weigh it, like if you want to like break the tie on that one, look at the people that Moose and Myers beat. You know what I mean? They beat the world champion, the former world champion, another former world champion, and like a 10-time X Division champion, and then Kushida, who's the number 1 contender. So it's like that team's a little more stacked than the 3 teams that MK Ultra beat. So I don't know. That's kind of the way I look at it.
Okay. Lucha?
This is where they should be. There's no one, that I would put ahead of them. No one that I would switch in their place, after them. Just because they defended their titles against 3 teams, like you said, and 3 pretty damn good teams, even though one was kind of makeshift. But they did all that, but you got to look at what people in front of them did. It ain't enough to squeeze them over like that.
That's true. Good point. I against everybody who's ahead of them, yeah. Again, I can't argue with that logic.
Because look at who's right after them. Number 6, Deanna, who lost
by submission again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you think she came in at number 6 though? Now since we're on talking about Deanna.
I feel like because Joya fighting on the pre-show, the committee having their little bias towards the pre-show in that regard, didn't really give the proper respect they deserved in there. And then I don't know other than that.
Burt, what are you thoughts on Deanna coming in at number 6?
Yeah, she has, she has lost quite a bit recently in, big profile matches, but I think that's just because she's so over. She can lose in the main event and still come in at number 6. So, it's not really, it's pretty simple, but it's not that simple. But yeah, it's simple as that she's over. So, I mean, that's the simplest way to put it.
Yeah. Speaking of the pre-show, Joya came in at number 7, but what? Speedball Mike Bailey gets no love?
Where's again, Joy is a new team and new carries a lot of weight. You know what I'm saying? You're like fresh, you know what I mean? So people are excited about the potential, the possibilities.
Joya won me over. I will say that when you have hit that triangle, I died because he pulled that triangle out. It looked like his knee pad or his boot, and he gave it to Yuya, and he just hit it. I was just like, oh my god! I don't care if people think it's corny. Joya is hilarious.
I hate him. I hate him.
Hope they become tag team champions.
Same.
No, again, that's what I'm afraid of. Not afraid of them being champions, but I don't need the Rascals to be like champions for like a month. I don't, not just because I'm a Rascals fan. I just hate short, meaningless title reigns. Are you saying the Rascals are transitional champs? You know what I mean? I don't think that's true. What was it all to get the belts to Joe Henry and Yuya? That was the plan all along. I'm not buying that.
Well, okay, look, Joya just formed, so you got to put them up first a little bit before they get to the tag titles, okay? So they're going to be
that's the same. If they're planning on having them a tag team, they can win in 2024. That's fine.
But how are they going to act when the most professional wrestling guys show up in their face?
What?
How are they going to act when the most professional wrestling guys show up in their face?
Yeah. I'd rather have them honestly be tag champs over Joy at this point. If in terms of another team, you know what I mean? Again, I like you.
Okay. I'm surprised Moose hasn't backstabbed Brian Myers yet.
Because being around your fellow scumbag, you Brian Myers is seeing this coming from a mile away, so Myers got to have the defense for it. Same with Bully and Leo or whoever the case may be. They know it's coming, so it's you can't just stab them real quick. You got to be real crafty with it.
This is just like when Bobby Roode and Austin Aries started teaming with each other to form the Dirty Heels. It was more about who could outdo each other as a heel. Like that's the best factions are made up like that.
That's funny. That is hilarious. Okay.
And that's a great name, by the way, the Dirty Heels. I love that name.
Yeah, I definitely do agree. Burt, since you alluded to this earlier, let's talk about it. Number 10, the DMC Kenny KING King getting a victory over the swingman Johnny Swinger.
Even though I'm very upset about Kenny King only being number 10, which he should be, obviously the people who are higher than him, yes, maybe he should be like at least 8. But if we're gonna like hold it against, he did beat Johnny Swinger, and if we're gonna like talk about how Swinger doesn't deserve to be a part of the rankings each week, then Kenny King defending his title against him, we have to apply the same logic, and so he only did beat Johnny Swinger. So
Johnny Swinger gave Kenny King a run for his money. Okay, like I thought that was gonna be a squash match. Thank God it wasn't. I mean, Johnny Swinger took it to Kenny King.
Yeah, Swingman for sure pulled out some 2002 moves out of nowhere. I don't know where he had the brain, to come up with those innovative moves that he was hitting from the year 2002 for the Swingman at such a young age.
It's true.
When Heath came out though and hit that damn wake up call, I just knew Swinger was going to win the title.
Me too. I was like, oh my God, Johnny Swinger's going to win this. He's actually going to win, but that did not happen. And then let's also talk about the fact that to add insult to injury, Kenny King attacked Johnny Swinger and Tommy Dreamer after the match. So, maybe we guess this is a little tag match: Johnny Swinger and Tommy Dreamer versus Kenny King and Shelton G.
Why would you wish that into existence? Why
right.
That? I don't understand why.
God, no.
I don't. That's usually what happens. Dreamer on my screen.
No, it's going to be a 6-man tag. Johnny Swinger, Tommy Dreamer, and Darren McCarty versus
God.
And fucking somebody else, Heath. It's gonna be terrible.
Johnny Swinger and Tommy Dreamer sounds like the names of two guys from like WWE in like the 90s or early 2000s.
They sound like 2000s WCW jobbers.
Yeah, that's a better call.
Okay. Number 9, the IWGP champion Sandaya getting a big victory. Sonata. Yeah. Okay, let me read to that. Number 9. Okay, number 9, the IWGP champion Sonata.
Yes.
Getting a big victory over Jake something. I have to say, I knew Jake something was going to lose this match. This was a showcase match, in my opinion. This was just to show how good Jake something is. And Jake something went out there and showed just how good he is. But,
really good.
Sandara getting the big victory. So why do you think he came in at number 9 when he's the IWGP champion?
Because in Impact canon, they don't really mean shit to us. Like the IWGP title, it doesn't have any like lineage for Impact goes. So, because I don't even think the IWGP champ gets those championship bonuses that other champions.
No, he doesn't.
So, in the most respectful way possible, his belt don't mean shit here.
What about you, Burt?
Well, those, if you're an Impact fan, we all remember the great we all remember Sonata from when he was the X Division champion in
Sonata.
In 2014, maybe 2013, I believe it was.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people are happy to see him back. He got a big win. He is the #1 champion in New Japan right now. He's the top. This is the top belt. So I do think number 9 is a perfect spot because what Lucha said, I'll try to say it more politely, but yeah, he's not in Impact canon right now. He's not a main player. You know what I mean?
Okay, that makes sense.
It was like a crossover comic. You know what I mean? He came over for one issue.
Okay. Number 8, Eric Young, but it seems like he killed the design at Emergence. So does he deserve the number 8 spot?
I'm gonna let Lucha go real quick because I was just thinking about something, but yeah, let Lucha go.
I mean, if he killed the design, then I don't think he's ranked high enough because we've seen people kill things and people and get like top 3 billing. You know, the committee rewards crimes. So if you're going to say that Eric Young did a crime, I argue that he didn't. He just won a match. So where he's at, these, with the exception of Sonata kind of threw me off, and then also with the Abomination, that is the number 2. These power rankings are like, they make sense because this is pretty much who would be top position in the card at the moment. Yeah. I'd imagine.
Coming in at number 4, the most professional wrestling gods, the X Division champion Lio Rush, and the scumbag Bully Ray, or as this team was called, the Scumbags. Why is it that they came in at number 4 when they were the winning team? Burt?
Because the winning team, I mean, even though the losing team has that world champion, see, it's very controversial. Now the more that Lucha's talking about it and bringing it up and how to bring it into existence, you know what I mean? Because we did rank Time Machine, Josh Alexander. The Machine Guns, Kushida, and Josh Alexander together. They did lose. They are ahead of this team technically. So it doesn't make sense, and it does at the same time. It's very, we can't get them all right. You know what I mean? It's not, we're human.
Yeah.
I'm trying to plead with the audience.
I mean, I think their case is being made for being connected to so many other different things. Also add in, Lio Rush's championship bonus with him being the X Division champion. So they're at the perfect little spot, a little pocket. They're already giving the tag champions some sweat as far as Moose and Meyer goes. They got the win in the match, even though Bully Ray did get punked out by PCO. Number 4 is where they should be. I don't really have any much more to throw on than I have already put on.
Just to give my 2 cents, I think the reason too why they came at number 4 is they beat Josh Alexander, who I know he is the longest reigning Impact World Champion, but he's not the current world champion. I feel like if Lio Rush would have been the one to pin, let's say, Alex Shelley, then you could have made a case for them to be ahead of Time Machine and Josh Alexander. But because Moose pinned Josh Alexander, rewind of Bound for Glory 2021, I might add. I think that's the reason why they came in at number. She's coming in at number 1, and still the reigning and defending Knockouts World Champion Trinity, who got a big victory on the Go Home Show 2 Emergence, and once again she made Deonna Purrazzo tap out and main evented Emergence. I think that calls for the number 1 spot.
Yeah, definitely. And it's who she beat Deonna again. This is like the end of that feud. You would think she beat Deonna twice. She had 2 wins this week. She retained her title. Yeah, I don't think that anybody else should be number 1 besides her.
For sure, and she made her claim and backed it up. maybe I'll have to just do it again. I'll just have to beat you again. And fucking she did. Can't really say too much shit about her now. It might be it was the summer of the machine guns as far as in the power rankings. It might be the autumn of Trinity, or the fall of Trinity, which is more than ironic.
That doesn't sound right.
It doesn't, but it's her season.
I get what you're saying, season.
Yeah.
That concludes the power rankings. Does anybody have any last comments or before we get ready to sign off?
No, but I think that like as always, the rankings next week will be completely different than this week, just because you might not see a lot of it, just because on a pay-per-view you usually get everybody on the roster, as opposed to a weekly show where you don't. So it'll be interesting to see who it makes the rankings next week.
Yeah, I guess my last comment on this week's rankings is Eddie Edwards didn't make the power rankings despite the fact that he got a victory over Frankie Kazarian.
I wasn't a fan of that match. I think this feud's kind of gotten a little stale just because I wasn't interested in the beginning. I didn't think it would last this long. But, you know what I mean? I wasn't a fan of the match. I don't know. I didn't hate it, but just it didn't click with me.
I rather enjoyed it. It was Eddie is low key one of the best cinematic wrestlers out here. Like, you go look at all his rivalry with Sammy and them fighting in the forest. You go look at the joint from the Hardy compound where him and Bobby Lashley were fighting into the woods. And I promise you, they're still in the woods fighting to this day. I promise. I saw them the other day. But from that to all the other, they running over PCO with the car. Eddie kind of belongs in the cinematic universe, I guess I could say.
Okay. Well, with that being said, thank you guys all so much for watching. And for the continued support, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified not only when this video drops, but whenever TNAIW drops new content such as Lucha. What kind of content do we have coming up?
Such as this week, ladies and gentlemen, quarterfinals of the Super X Cup. Make sure you guys tune in and check out the quarterfinal X Division action. It's getting spicy. It's getting real spicy.
Like curry, man.
And it does taste great.
That's true.
Also, make sure you guys check out me and Jeff Rundown Emergence. Give us y'all listen to our 2 cents, our collective 4 cents of our 4 cents of nonsense. Yeah. That's what I like it. I
like that. 4 cents of nonsense.
Yeah, so make sure you guys go check that out too. Is it the main show? I don't know. Is it reaction? I don't know. It's just 2 homies talking about Emergence. So you guys be sure to go check that out. Hit up the chat in there. Make sure you guys hit us when we do go live for the Victory Road for the Victory Road post show or review, I should say. Jeff and Max will be at Victory Road and Impact 1000, so they're on the spot. They're on the spot reporting, spoiler free since '83.
That's awesome. And then tune in next week to see if Burt is still a rascal or if he's a Macklin again. We'll see you guys next week.
Or if he's the fucking newest member of Kenny King's squad. You know, he's trying to be down with the king. You trying to be down with the king, Burt?
A lot. It's too hard to choose. Just
all right, we'll see you guys next week.